Amanda's Edge with Jerrian Sanders, Randy Wade, and A.D. Roberts.
And good morning. Man, I'm excited today. We really have an amazing show lined up. This is the Amateur's Edge, and my man Jay is in the building today. I'm glad to have you here, man.
As always, man, we still missing our little brother Randy.
Yeah,
man.
we missing the tight pants bandit. He's not here.
Hopefully, he finding some jeans that can fit him, man.
He might. We don't know, but we still love him.
We wish him the best.
Yeah, we wish him the best, and hopefully he'll slide on in here sometime soon
and not split his pants.
But listen, no. If you have a young athlete, get on the phone, call them, tell them that they need to tune in right now to 1010XL. You need to call them because the message that is about to be shared today is a transformational one, and I promise you will not. It's gonna be life changing.
Yes, sir.
It really can be, man. So
Jay, all know.
Yeah, Jay, going on. Yeah, I'm not gonna steal all of the thunder, man, because I got excited.
So we all know that Jacksonville is an absolute hotbed of athletes. Every year there's a gang of kids going to big time Division I football programs. Every year there's a gang of athletes getting drafted into the major leagues or the NFL. And, for us, we celebrate these guys, but also at some point we always talk about this, the ball stops at some point. And for us, it's important to tell the story of, the rise to get to that point. But then there's also that other side when the lights get a little bit dimmer and the fans and the people go away. How does life treat you at that point? So today we brought on one of the greatest athletes that ever come out of the First Coast area, Chris Black. Chris was a former Alabama recruit, was the number 2 receiver in the nation when he came out of school, Under Armour All-American, ended up transferring to Missouri and finished up his football career there. But Chris has an amazing story to tell, and normally we talk about other things going into the show, but I wanted to hop right into this. So first and foremost, I wanted to welcome Chris to the show. How you doing, Chris?
I'm great. Thank
Good. And before we get too deep into this, we also brought on the show today Tramell Jones Jr., highly recruited quarterback out of Mandarin High School, committed to Florida State, only a junior in high school.
Right, that's crazy.
Only a junior in high school.
Crazy.
And then we also brought on Jaime French, also of Mandarin, plays wide receiver, only a junior, 5-star recruit, and committed to Alabama. How y'all doing today, fellas?
Doing good.
All right, good.
Well, got that chemistry.
They got that chemistry already. They better. Good deal. So look, again, we just gonna jump right on into this. Chris, you chose Alabama. I know this sounds like a silly question, but why?
Man, I mean the prestigeness, right? It's a complete dynasty over there. I think it speaks for itself. Being able to be coached by one of the greatest coaches in college football, and then of course Bama is a powerhouse. They put out some of the greatest athletes.
For sure. What was that process like heading into Bama?
It was crazy. It was an experience. My recruiting for me personally started literally 9th grade. So it started very, very early. So by the time it was time for me to commit and all that stuff, I was ready to get it done and get it out of the way and go into school. So it was quite an experience. I'll say that much.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So what were, and again, let's get to the meat and bones of this. Once you got to Bama, what was the biggest change, or what was like the culture shock there for you once you got there, when you compare it to coming from high school?
Yeah, I think not even for me, but for any athlete, and I think these young athletes now should hear this. You guys should hear this. Is right now everybody's telling you how good you are, right? And you're feeling yourself, you're smelling yourself, and one of the major shocks is when you get to these D1 programs and you realize like I'm here around a bunch of dogs, right?
Yeah.
I ain't the only dog no more.
Before you get too deep, who was your college roommate?
Mari Cooper.
Mari Cooper.
Yeah, a dog. Yeah. And so that's the biggest thing, man. Like, you ain't the best. You ain't the best kid on the block no more, right? You there around a bunch of dogs. Everybody left that house and told mama, left home and told mama they was gonna buy a house, right? Everybody hungry. Everybody ready to eat.
For sure. And one of the things we just talked about was Amari Cooper being one of your teammates. Name some of the other big-time receivers that was there when you were there.
Yeah. So we had Amari Cooper, Christian Jones, DeAndrew White, Kenny Bell. Who was my other guy we used to call? He
Who
was
came in behind you? There was some guys who came in behind you too.
came
Right?
behind me.
That's in the league now. Anybody?
Calvin Ridley, my guy, who's
Yeah.
here now in
Okay.
Jacksonville. I'm excited to see him this year
Yeah.
with the Jaguars. We had a guy named Cyrus Jones at the time who ended up going to Baltimore. He ended up transitioning to cornerback. And then when I was coming in, guess who was leaving out?
Who's that?
Julio Jones. So
Crazy.
it was a powerhouse for even receivers at that time also.
Right, crazy.
Yeah.
What would you say were the things that made the difference or that separated a guy like Amari Cooper from yourself? Like, how was that, being his roommate? Can you take us down that trip, down that road?
Yeah, so, when we came in, me and Amari Cooper came in, we both came in January, right? Me, Amari Cooper, TJ Yeldon, who was actually here at the Jaguars at one point in time. And it's crazy because I got a lot of respect for Amari Cooper, one of the greatest receivers I've ever seen play this game. And during the time, we 18 years old, we coming to college, and we in college.
Yeah,
I ain't got to say too much. Home. But, at the time, while some of us hanging out, we're enjoying college. Amari Cooper in the bed getting ready for workouts in the morning. You know what I mean? And that was different. Like at the time,
18 years old.
At the time, we saw it from a different angle. You know what I mean? We saw it from, hey, he ain't doing nothing. He ain't, you know what I mean? Like he chilling a little too hard.
Yeah.
And now being a man and understanding what it's really about, and having that accountability, like I look back at him like, man, that man was like, he was on it. Like he was on top of it at an early age. He understood like this is business. It's about business. And that's what you guys got to understand. It's literally about business. Like you like both of y'all, you're like independent contractors. You know what I mean? Like y'all are your own personal business right now. Even before you even get there.
Gotcha. And what would you say for yourself went wrong or took a turn at Bama?
I would say, so of course my freshman year, right? I come in highly touted, big expectations, right? Not only from myself, but from people around me. And my freshman year, I tore my labrum in my shoulder, right? And it was my first ever injury, like literally had first ever injury, having to have surgery and just any of that. And I think from that point, it's like everything just kind of like it was downhill for me. And that was tough. That was tough because when you're coming into college, you got all these expectations. Everybody ready to see you play. You ready to make people back home at the crib proud. You know what I mean?
Right.
You ready to return home and everybody giving you that same love they gave
without
you when
question.
you left out.
Yeah.
And that was tough, bro, because now it's like, dang, I can't make the crib proud now. Like I'm hurt, I'm down. Like I gotta watch the game. And y'all been playing ball probably every year since you was a kid, right? So imagine like a year not playing, like you can't do nothing. Like that was tough. That was tough, bro. That was tough for me. Like that's when the downhill battle started, literally.
Yeah. So were you in a different place mentally?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because it was. I think it was more so the pressure and the expectations that from home. You know what I mean? And it was a lot of pressure, bro. It was. I had to like kind of find myself in that moment because like I can't play like, who am I? You know what I mean? I'm seeing other guys play. I'm seeing guys ball out. You come in and you come in, it's guys that you might have been rated over and had more, people might have had bigger expectations for you than this guy. And now you're watching guys. You know what I mean? That was tough. Like that was one of the toughest things I had to endure at that time.
But look, we got to pay some bills. But when we come back, I do want to talk about how you channeled that energy because that's extremely important because we all want to play away from getting injured, right? And how you channel that is extremely important because you got to keep your mental. You got to be able to keep your mental and, taking the right steps and the right precautions mean everything. So when we get back, I want to talk a little bit more about that.
No doubt.
Yes, sir. So this segment was brought to you by Premier Physical Therapy. Your wellness journey begins at Premier Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, the gold standard in orthopedic and sports rehab for adults and adolescents alike. Dial 904-996-6922 or visit PremierPTJax.com today for the premier experience. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Pads will pop, and the practice field will rock. Get daily training camp coverage brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Roland Leash Plumbing. That's it on 1010XL.
I'm Justin Norndorf, creator of DVS, a medically backed pitching development program designed to develop young throwers' arms safely. We are excited to be launching our Florida Development Center at B3 Better in Jacksonville. To celebrate DVS, we are offering a free virtual coaches clinic and also giving away 20 free team DVS and athletic assessments at B3 Better. To register for the clinic and your team's chance to win, go to b3better.com/DVS and secure your spot today.
Catch the Jacksonville Jaguars every day.
Jaguars Today from the Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute studios.
With Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony talking teal every weekday from 10 to noon.
Jaguars Today
On 1010XL.
With Renewal by Andersen Windows and Doors, the Coastal Impact Windows are the culmination of hard work, exhaustive testing, and continuous improvements. And they're proud to offer homeowners in coastal regions the results of that innovation. Designed to withstand the harshest weather environments, Coastal Impact Windows give you peace of mind during rough weather while letting the beauty of the coast shine in. Visit rbafla.com to schedule a complimentary in-home design consultation. Renewal by Andersen, license number CGC 1527613.
Start your Sunday off with a cup of Joe and some sports medicine intel. This is Joe C. inviting you to join me and Dr. George Bari for Breaking Bones every Sunday morning at 7:30. And if you miss an episode, just look for Breaking Bones wherever you listen to podcasts.
What is fee-fi phobia? The answer coming up.
Does your homeowner's insurance company contact you before, during, or after a big storm? If not, then it's time for you to contact Southern Oak Insurance. Find us online at southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Fee-fi phobia, although very rare, is the fear of giants. Oh, wait, that can't be right.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Major League Baseball is always on at Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill. Whether you're a Ray, Cub, or even Yankee, Perfect Rag Billiards always has all the games live. Tons of awesome beer and food specials for the weekend, from Fireball Fridays, Seltzer Saturdays, and brunch on Sundays. That along with tons of pool tables, shuffleboards, darts, and more. Get on out of the house for the action and come to Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill, where you can catch all the MLB action. Perfect Rag Billiards in Murray Hill, a great place to watch sports.
Jason Isbull and the 400 Unit.
Girl, leave your boots by the bed. Leaving this room.
August 12th, the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Did you ever love a woman
with special guest, The Baseball Project.
What have I done to help?
Jason Isbull and the 400 Units. Buy tickets at the box office or Ticketmaster.com. Weather Vanes, out now.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And today we're having a great conversation with Chris Black. I don't know if you guys remember this kid, man. He was former Alabama recruit, ranked number 2 athlete coming out of high school here in this country. And this guy's amazing. Under Armour All-American, one of the most heavily recruited talents to come out of First Coast. And he's in the studio today telling his story. Man, glad to have you here, Chris.
Definitely. And we left off on the last segment talking a little bit about the mental side of things and, what place you were in mentally when you got hurt. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how you got through that time? Because, again, with mental health being one of those key things going on in sports and just in general in society, I think it's important to give these kids some tools on, how to get through those tougher times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think in that moment, having that injury at the time, and I keep going back to this because the expectations.
Now, what year was the injury?
The injury was 2000. That was 2000.
Was it your freshman or
freshman year? True freshman year.
Wow.
Yeah, this was during camp, right? Fall camp, just before the season, and that's the time where you trying to earn the spot, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was at slot during the time I was playing H position at Bama. We had another great athlete named Christian Jones. So it was opportunities and positions were kind of up for grabs at the time. And so having that opportunity and then having to take an injury and not being able to kind of, fulfill that and potentially gain or earn a starting position or just even playing time.
Yeah, gotcha.
That was tough.
Yeah,
right? That was tough. And
I think. Oh my bad. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I think like a lot of athletes will go through that. Like things are gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And which is why it's very important and very vital for you guys to realize your body is your money. You know what I mean? You gotta take those preventative measures every day. You gotta be in that training room. You know what I mean? You gotta take the weight room serious. You gotta get rest at night. You gotta feed your body. You gotta get your nutrition. Like that stuff is important.
Did you say you had a tremendous work ethic going into college?
I would say I did.
Yeah.
I was the guy at first coach. We gonna do 1-on-1s. Like we ain't leaving here till we do 1-on-1s every day.
Mm-hmm.
That was the mentality. Like all of us had that dog mentality at first coach.
How would you compare yourself to Cooper?
In terms of what?
As far as mentality wise, like what would you say separated him from you?
I would say I think it was just more so being intentional about only being a football player.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? At the time, like I say, if I can keep going back to that, like dude was locked in. Like that was it. Like it was locked in. It wasn't. You ain't have to second guess like if he was locked in or not.
So what I'm trying to understand is where the separation came in, right?
Yeah.
So you said you was a dog, you worked hard.
Uh-huh.
He was a dog, he worked hard. What you think really separated him then?
That's a great question because you know what it goes back to the little things, right?
Okay.
It was a little thing.
Okay.
Like if I'm going to bed at 11:30, he might be in the bed at 10:30.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just little things like that.
Yeah.
He might spend an extra 30 minutes, at the facility watching film. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I might leave and go get me something to eat or catch up with somebody. Or, just those little things like.
And it's college too.
It's college too. So
it's college. Let's be honest here.
It's a lot to be enticed by on the outside.
Absolutely.
And like I said, it's those little things that become the residual effect of those little things that I think kind of transition over.
That.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's compound interest,
It's
right?
compound
over time.
Exactly. And
those 30 minutes started to add up.
30 minutes a day. You know what I mean? Think
Yeah.
about what that is in seven whole days. You know what I mean?
Right.
It adds up.
It definitely adds up.
Yeah.
Well, let's shift gears just a little bit. I don't want to have these boys over here getting bored. So, all right. So, Tramell, let me ask you, man, what led to your decision to commit to Florida State?
What led to my decision to commit to Florida State was just the feeling to be home. I knew I can get developed with Coach Norvell and Coach Tokars at Florida State. Didn't feel like that anywhere else when I took visits to other colleges, and I just knew it was the right time to make the decision.
That's what's up. What about you, Jaime?
I definitely have to say same thing Chris was saying. It's a dynasty. Coming in, being prepared. I definitely have to say the people who worked hard to recruit me. They showed me a lot in Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
They let me know that I was something they need and want.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I just felt like same thing he was saying. He got recruited early. Ninth grade. I'm just ready to settle down, get ready for school. So I just chose Bama.
So what was your first impression when you went to Bama?
Ooh, I definitely have to say, they got great facilities, nice campus, of course. I was just really trying to figure out where it's home at the time. That was going into my ninth grade year, freshman year. I was still trying to figure out where it's home. Took 2 more visits, and after the second one, I definitely had to say, yeah, I want to settle down.
Uh-huh.
And I came back home, talked to my people about it, waited a month after.
Yeah.
Made the move.
So Tramell can persuade you to come to FSU, man? I know he tried. I know he tried.
Yeah, he still is,
Yeah.
Time's still going. We only juniors.
You're right. You ain't signed that dotted line yet.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Good deal. And Tramell, so what was your first impression when you were at Florida State?
Just the people in the building. Everybody had a great vibe. Everybody was showing love. So I just knew the love was there, and I knew they wanted me. I knew that I was needed there, and I knew that Coach Norvell was bringing something special to Tallahassee.
So, and this question is for both of you guys, and y'all can answer whoever wants to answer first. But going in, are your expectations to play as a freshman, or will you be all right with redshirt, or what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm willing to compete at any cost. I want to compete when I go to college, and I'm competing everything I do. So that's my mindset going into college, and I want to play early. For sure.
Are you going to go to school early? You going to enroll early? Wherever.
Yes, sir, in January.
Okay. 2024. What about you, Jamie?
Picking up what Tramell said, that's always the main goal. Come in as a freshman, get some stuff on film. That's always the main goal. But you have situations. You might have to red shirt. I'm down for any of that. Just best options. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. And will you be enrolling early as well?
Yeah, definitely. I'll be in January.
Got you. So, Chris, what would you tell them was the biggest adjustment coming from high school to college?
I would say outside of, we all know the speed of the game is different, right? But I would say the mentality and the approach. I can't get off that part, right?
Yeah.
It's literally the approach, is being in attacking the weight room, getting in the playbook.
Every rep count.
Every single rep count, right? It's
recording them.
It's being a dog. Like, if you in camp, bro, get your reps. Get up there. Like, you got to get in where you fit in. Nah, this is my rep, bro. You know what I mean? You got to be a grown man from day one. You know what I mean? Like, and then also just like you as a receiver, right? A guy told me this. He said, man, you can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none, right? So, I don't know if you play Z, H, or whatever. Master, if you play Z, master that. Because if you know Z, then you know what H doing. You got to know what X doing because it's all intertwined. So, but I think it's the approach, man. I think it's coming in, being a dog from day one, treating it like a grown man from day one, and realizing that like you are a business, literally.
Do you remember the first time you were really challenged and you was like, oh man, this different?
And Bama was challenged every day.
Yeah.
From workouts.
You don't have a story for us?
I remember first workout, man. Me and Amari Cooper, we came in January and we had our first workout, like real workout, like college workout. And I was like, dang, bro, do I want to do this?
You were second thinking life.
Man, listen, man. It was real. It was real, bro. But now I look back on it, and I'm like, dang, how I used to be doing that stuff. Because, man, you're going to do, like, when Coach Saban said they're doing extraordinary stuff, like, you're going to do it. And everybody's got to be bought in. Everybody around you bought in. And that's when you see, like, it's really a mind thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can push yourself to those extra limits. And you're going to have to if you guys want to, make those strides and get to the next level.
So what, for you boys, what was your first impression of Coach Norvell when you first met him, Tramell?
Definitely the energy. He's always on 100. He has no chill. He's always yelling, and his energy is just high. He's a great coach. He's always going to push you to be the best person on and off the field, and that's just something I need.
Cool. And what was your first impression of Saban?
I'd ever say low, calm, cause you ain't gonna really say too much that first meet. So after that, like the other visits and stuff, he would let me know like what they have to offer and stuff like that. Throwing stuff on the table, recruiting.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. And Chris, being that you had experiences with Coach Saban, what kind of advice would you give Jaime, and what kind of nuggets would you say you took from your experience? From working with Coach Saban?
Coach Saban, man, he's a straight line guy. You know what I mean? It's either you buy in or you don't buy in. There's no gray area. That's one of the biggest things I learned from him. Like it's literally no gray area. It's either this or it's that. And he likes things to be a certain way. You better tie your shoes a certain way. You know what I mean? But that stuff matters, man. Like you really see that stuff matters. Everybody has to be on the same page. Like I really appreciate that experience playing for a guy like that. And
let me say this before you get too far, man. That really means a lot to me that you say you appreciate it, being that it ended the way that it did,
exactly,
right?
Absolutely.
And it shows how much you've grown as a man. And it makes me proud to hear you say that because a lot of times people don't take accountability, right?
Man.
And I want to talk a little bit about that as well, man. Like, because again, like it didn't end well when you left Bama, right? Because you ended up transferring to Missouri. But looking back on that experience, what did you take from it?
Yeah, now you mentioned something about accountability, and now I can truthfully say I didn't always have the conversation that way and say that I appreciate that experience. I appreciate playing for Coach Saban.
So when you left, I'm pretty sure there was some hard.
During the time it was different conversations. But just growing and being a man now and realizing that you got to be accountable. Like you can't blame it on politics. You can't blame it on they ain't played me. They didn't give me enough opportunity. Are you prepared? Like, are you making it hard for them to not play you? Like, and that should have been my mentality at the time instead of I'm good. I came in like this. Y'all told me this. No, bro. They told everybody that. You know what I mean? Like everybody being told the same thing you being told. And you have to go in and make it hard for them to not hold whatever they told you. And that has to be your mentality. And every day is a new day. And one thing at Bama, you have to earn your spot every day. So I've been up here raving about Amari Cooper. Another thing I could say about that guy, that guy earned his spot and solidified himself every single day. He never took the approach, I'm Amari Cooper. This is the day I can lay off. I'm talking about never, bro. Y'all got to take that mentality. And if you playing with somebody like Coach Saban, you're going to have to take that mentality, whether you're hurt or what. Like, you got to go out and earn it every single day, literally.
Now, do you say that, like that mentality that you're talking about?
Yeah.
Would you say Chris had that? You had that same mentality
during the time coming in. So I've always been a humble guy. I've always been a guy that was bought in. Like I always understood what it was gonna take. But I think you go play with somebody like Coach Saban is on another level.
Yeah, that's right.
You're gonna demand a lot out of you.
Yeah, it's gonna demand a lot, and you're learning that through that process. But it's easy at the time if things don't go your way. It's easy to start trying to find something external to blame it on.
An excuse.
Yeah. And Coach Saban used to always say, you're gonna hear him say this, like, I don't care about the poor me's. Oh, you walking around with the poor me's. And what that mean is, like, you walking around like trying to blame somebody for something that ain't going right for you, instead of just manning up and, hey, I gotta get it. That's the mentality. It ain't no other way. That's the mentality you gotta have. I gotta get it. I don't care what's going on. You know what I mean? If you got something hurt, if you can still, man, you better get out there. I didn't play. Well, listen, I had so many injuries, and I didn't play on so many injuries, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Like I just really want you guys to know it's not gonna be like this. However, if it's pretty right now, ain't gonna be like that. Like, you got to go in and you got to have a different type of mentality. Seriously.
If there was, before we break, if there was something, and you kind of, hindsight is 20/20. If there was something that you could have done different, because some of your peers that played behind you and played with you, they've gone on and played. They're playing in the NFL. If there was something that you could have done differently, what would it be?
If I could have done something differently, it was literally every day that I came out there on the field. Because I think what happened with me was, because things didn't go well from the beginning, right? I always felt like I was playing catch up. And I'm at a place like Bama, I got to play catch up. So one thing that I didn't do was, I didn't come to the field as if this is a new day, right? This is an opportunity for me to be great, prove myself, and just simply just be myself, right? God already gave you the talent. You know what I mean?
So were you saying you were bringing some of yesterday with you to the
Man, listen, I was bringing yesterday and tomorrow.
That's a lot on your shoulders for the present moment, man.
And I wasn't even locked in on today, because my whole mentality was, I'm behind the 8 ball, and I got to play catch up, and so I don't have a chance to mess up. So I was playing not to mess up, and you can't do that. You know what I mean? I don't care what has happened. One thing Coach Saban is big on is body language, right? If you drop a ball as a receiver, man, listen, get up, run back to the huddle. It's a new play. You better catch the next one and be a dog about it when you do it.
Hey, but he ain't that nice about it, though. If you drop that ball, he gonna be.
But I'm gonna tell you though, he gonna be even less nice. He gonna be less nicer if you drop the ball and you get up and your body language is bad and you dragging that experience with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nah, get back to the huddle and do your thing on the next play. So I think for me, just to wrap that part up, I think for me it was simply, I would come back and go into each day or each new play with that mentality of I'm finna win and not playing not to lose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, and be in that moment.
Be in that moment.
Be in that moment.
Present,
not worry
present.
about the past and don't worry about the future.
Yeah.
Stay in the moment.
Yeah.
All right, let's pay some bills real quick. This segment was brought to you by Premier Physical Therapy. Your wellness journey begins at Premier Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation. the gold standard in orthopedic and sports rehab for adults and adolescents alike. Dial 904-996-6922 or visit premierptjacks.com today for the premier experience. You're listening to The Amateur's Edge on 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Grilling up lunch with Leon and the Sausage Dudes. Sausage with a purpose.
Join me, Leon Searcy, on XL Primetime, weekdays for Lunch with Leon.
On 1010XL.
I downblock with all my funk.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track.
We're basically going to have to win.
Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive.
1 point to the good.
And for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 25th and 26th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Are you an experienced plumber with pipes of steel or a plumber's helper ready to dive into new plumbing adventures? This is Ellen Darley of Darley's Plumbing with an opportunity that should have you flush with excitement. At Darley's, we believe that plumbing isn't just a job, it's a chance to showcase your skills and unclog your way to a brighter future. Plus, you'll be the hero of every household. So if you've got the flow and a passion for plumbing, come join our team at Darley's Plumbing, Equal Opportunity Employer.
3D Digital has you covered for any of your business's digital marketing needs. From producing award-winning videos to getting those digital ads to follow your customers around the internet, our team has your back. Visit 3ddigital.com or give us a call at 904-712-4004 to schedule a free consultation today. 904-712-4004.
I'm Dr. Mitchell Yass, the most unknown world-renowned expert on pain elimination. That's right, elimination. If you've tried medications, injections, physical therapy, chiropractic, even surgery, and still experience pain, then say yes to Yass. I have successfully used the Yass method for over 30 years to help thousands reclaim their lives. To learn more, call me at 904-906-YASS. Let's end your pain and say yes to Yass.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. Call 904-722-1111.
Instant Keys saves the day if you've lost or broken keys. They can program new keys and remotes for nearly every make and model of vehicle at a fraction of the dealership cost. Fast, honest, and reliable locksmith service. Call Instant Keys, 722-1111.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, the official personal injury law firm of the Jaguars, protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. It's the Amateur's Edge, brought to you by B3 Better on 1010XL.
And we're back, y'all. This has been a great show this morning. Listen, if you still got a little more time, get on the phone, get that student athlete on this line on the radio so they can hear. But we got Tramell Jones here. He's committed to FSU, and we have it's Jaime. Jaime, you're committed to Bama. They got their gear on today too, man. You see they looking all fresh.
Yeah,
and
they got to
everything.
represent.
Yeah,
they got to represent. So with this very stacked team that you guys have at Mandarin, what are y'all expectations for this year?
We want to win state. That's the number one goal.
So championship or bust?
Championship or bust.
Yeah.
We want to win state. That's the only goal with the guys we have at our school now. With 2 Penn State commit corners, and we got Jamie French. We have a veteran offensive line, Drake Stubbs at safety. We have a great receiving core, young receiving core that's going to come back next year. So the sky's the limit. We have a huge ceiling and we have a lot of goals for this year.
That's huge. That's huge. So, like, how many Division I athletes y'all think y'all got on your team?
Like 7 or 8.
7 or 8?
Yes,
Ooh, that's crazy.
That's huge. That's huge.
From Jackson.
Yep. Y'all got that. Yeah, the offensive lineman from Jackson, and y'all got Big Gavin. So, yeah, man, y'all should be locked in and ready to go. Who y'all have this upcoming week?
Ponte Vedra at home.
Ponte Vedra at home.
Just a kickoff classic. So
Okay.
We'll probably only play the first half.
Okay. And then y'all start y'all first game of the season against
Fletcher.
Oh, Fletcher, the first game of the season?
Fletcher.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a pretty good game right there. Is it gonna be at Mandarin or at Fletcher?
At Mandarin. At
Week
Mandarin.
1. Week 1.
Who gonna win?
Us.
The way it sounds like y'all shouldn't lose any games. So with the reclassification, because there's no more 8A, what are y'all now?
4M. No, yeah, 4M. Yeah, 4 Metro.
4 Metro?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's still the highest class? Okay, yeah, because so much stuff is switched
Wow.
and changed. I can't even keep up with that stuff anymore at all. What would you guys say, and Jamie, you can answer this question, or both of y'all can, is going to be the biggest difference from y'all team last year than this year? Because y'all coming off a 5-5 season. So what adjustments have y'all made, and what's going to be the thing to get what's going to be that thing to get y'all over the hump?
I'd definitely say we was young because Coach Bullock got the job last year. We were young. I definitely say the chemistry. We steady building. We went 5-5 last year. It was just building. You don't want to feel that feeling of losing first round of the playoffs no more. So just having that feeling on your back the whole time, it make you drive. It's a drive. Coach Bullock stays on us daily. Just getting together as a team. That's where we're at that point right now.
And I would assume you guys are the leaders, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good deal. Well, hey, hold on. Before we get too far, we got a special caller, man.
You get a special caller. Come on the line. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Y'all already know who this is, man. To start the show. Man, start the show, Randy Wade. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, Tight Pant Bandit?
What's going on? I had to call in just to check on y'all. I miss y'all, man. And, I've been following Chris for a long, long time. I was listening to the show earlier, man. Y'all had some great questions going on, so I just wanted to call back, man, and just, tell y'all, I miss y'all, fellas, man.
Do you have anything of significance to say?
My pants aren't tight. Other than that,
there you go. Good job.
Real time,
Good
Rob.
job. That's what's up, Rob.
Other than that, man, just an update, man, on kind of what y'all was talking about earlier, man. Up there checking out Sean at his game, man, and like 2 days before the game, they ended up moving him to safety, man. So he had 2 days worth of practice before they put him at safety, man, and he did kind of all right, man. I was a little bit nervous about it, but he did okay, man. So I'm excited about that. We're at the airport now, getting ready to come back. So I was trying to holler. That's all.
That's what's up, man. Well, we definitely miss you, man, and look to have you on the show next week.
All right, for sure. I'll be there, man. And hold it down, man. I'll talk to y'all guys later.
All right,
All right, Randy.
So, Chris, let me ask you this, man. What major life lesson did you learn from your collegiate football career? Because we were talking a little bit earlier today, and you talked about, your experience at Missouri and all that, and just, making that transfer from Bama to Missouri. First of all, how much of a shock was that, or how different was that?
Oh, man. I think at the time, like, it was very obvious and clear, like, why Bama was Bama. Literally. And that's not to
belittle,
discredit,
yeah,
anything, but it speaks for itself. Bama, you see what they're doing. So I think it was the everyday, like the everyday stuff, and at Bama you're literally doing the extraordinary stuff. So I mean that's as much as I can say about that.
Yeah, and as far as life lessons, because now just so people know, it's not like Chris just stopped playing football and fell off the face of the earth, right?
Just disappeared from the planet.
Cool. And what I'm trying to do is tie all this in together, man, because what Chris does now is day trading, and for people who don't know, that's a very hard career.
Right. Yeah.
So that's a very hard thing to make a career out of. And today we were talking, and he said something that really touched me and meant everything to me, because it's the same approach I took to life. He took passion over money. And he was extremely passionate about what he does. And when you're passionate about what you do, the money starts to come. And so I wanted you just to elaborate a little bit. Again, kind of talk on that level that we were talking about earlier today, like how that journey, how this football journey got you to where you are. And we always tell people, man, at the end of the day, inevitably, this sports is like a metaphor of life. And the commitment that you make to this game is gonna be the same commitment that you make to whatever else you decide to do in life. Because the ball gonna get flat at some point.
Yeah.
Y'all might be fortunate enough. Let's say you're fortunate enough to do a 10, 15-year NFL career and you done made tons of money. The problem with that is when you allow it to define you as a person.
Right.
When those lights become dim, no matter how much money you have,
It's gonna happen.
And that's all you identify yourself with. What's gonna happen to you then, right? And you look at it and you see it on so many different levels. I always tell people, you look at Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, all the money in the world, but died unhappy. Died unhappy. So it's one of those things where, for me, this is bigger than sports. Is how do I get you guys to understand that this is just a tool and it's your life right now, right? Like, because you've been playing it ever since you was little. I know Tramell been with me since he's been like 7 or 8 years old. So he been putting in the work, right? But it's important that you guys understand that this doesn't really define who you are as a man, and you understand that there are other things out there, and you do have a bigger purpose. And we talked about that a little bit today, Chris. And I wanted you to kind of elaborate on that conversation we had earlier.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something that was very profound. I think is no matter if you make it or you don't make it, it's one day it's gonna end, right? You can't play till you're 60 years old. However, I think for me, like the most critical point in my life was the day in 2017, the last name called in the draft. On that day, I realized that dream that I had as an 8-year-old child never came true.
So you was expecting to get drafted? You really thought you was gonna get drafted?
Yeah. I don't care what went on. You did it. So hey,
right. No,
I didn't expect it this long. So, but yeah, I think that day, man, I never forget. I would never in my life forget that day. Like literally, cause think about it. Y'all hold that visualization in y'all minds right now. The day that I get drafted, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, I remember now the day that I realized I never got drafted. That dream never came true. So in that moment, I realized, like, I think for me, I used to say this in my mind. I was like, dang, this is my biggest dream, but it then became a nightmare. You know what I mean?
How'd you make that transition? That's the question. How did you shift from I'm a baller, this is what I do every day. This is what I eat, live, and breathe.
Yeah,
to
I think
the ball had dropped for you.
Like honestly, so when I went to Missouri, right, my master's degree, I have a master's degree in psychology with an emphasis on educational school counseling, right, and well-being pretty much. So I was already kind of equipped, like mentally, like, you know what I mean, like to not go down that slope, you know what I'm saying? And so I knew, like, all right, if this don't happen, I don't want to be the guy that's hanging on to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to do that because I made a promise to mama when I left. In 2012, mama, I'm gonna buy your house one day. And so me not realizing that ball might not be it.
Ball might not be the
vehicle.
vehicle.
I'm gonna say, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Nah, I gotta find a new way. I gotta redefine myself. You know what I'm saying? And that's I think honestly in that moment, that's when I became a man because I realized like, nah, bro, I gotta redefine myself. Like, and I had to realize it. Football, like we love the game. Like I love the game to this day. It ain't everything though, you know what I'm saying? And if I was in y'all space and somebody sat by me and said that during that time, I'd be like, bro, you tripping. You know what I'm saying? Football is everything. And that's the mentality. I want y'all to have that mentality. I want y'all to know that. Like, go get it. But I had to realize in that time, like, I got to redefine. So everything I knew every single day was wake up, go work out. I'm watching highlights, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you guys watch guys' highlights that y'all look up. That was my everyday. In the locker room. That shit every day. I ain't in the locker room no more. I'm back at the crib. I'm around people that don't do what I do. You know what I'm saying? Man, it was complete shock. Like, literally. Like, to the point, like, you don't even want to go to the grocery store. Because you back at home where everybody...
Right, and you got to
you don't even want to hear it. Like, you're trying to recoup yourself.
People. Yeah.
Man, what happened, man? What's going on? Nah, like, it took me a minute, but I'm strong in my faith. You know what I'm saying? So... praying for that strength and that understanding and I picked up a lot of books at that time too. Like I just started reading, especially on like financial literacy and just I made mama a promise. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do it. Like I'm claiming it. I'm decreeing it to this day.
What was the best book you read?
I think Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Excellent.
Excellent book. It's so many, man. Power of Imagination by Neville Goddard.
Oh, you going to classics?
Yeah, bro. I read. Like, you come to my house now, like you would see what my life philosophy is by the books in my office. At
you
the
can tell a
crib.
man by his library.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I guess one of the messages that I'm getting from you and have gotten all morning long, I hope you guys have too, is being all in.
Yes.
Being all in the present moment to what it is that you're going after. Playing ball, giving it everything. Don't take just because you're athletically inclined and gifted and blessed that it's gonna always be this way. Even though you're athletically inclined and gifted, you still got to put that work in. You still got to get in there, and I mean work harder than everybody else. Everybody, every day, and leave yesterday behind. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the future. It'll get here soon enough. It will. But if anything happens, the power that I've seen in you is the ability to shift and change and to reinvent yourself once that ball dropped.
Can I say one thing about
Absolutely.
that too? So me and Jerrian was talking, right? And about making that shift, right? Think about it. What's the statistic is 3% make it, right?
3%.
That means it's 97%.
Say that loud. Say that for the people in the back.
The statistic is 3% make it, right? That means it's 97% of guys that hit that moment where they got to redefine themselves. You know what I mean? So I just want you guys to understand that. Like, I'm not saying like think of a plan B. Nah.
No.
Go with it. Like my man said, go all out right now. You know what I mean? But you're like, you're a person first. You know what I mean? You're not just an athlete. Like, you're a person first. Like, you're a young man, like, with a lot of substance. You know what I'm saying? So just understand that and appreciate that about yourself first. And you're a young man that plays football. You're not a football player. You're just a young man that plays
So, Chris,
football.
what's the future? Okay. What's the future for you?
Future for me?
Yeah.
Man, look, I got 2 kids. I got a son, right? And I got a daughter named Nala. My son's name is Knowledge, and my daughter's name is Nala. And for me, it's continue to do what I'm doing with day trading, and that's my passion. Like, honestly, if you would ask me one thing that actually like kind of helped me make the transition, it was me being introduced to day trade and the potential of that. I don't want to go too deep into it.
Sure.
But it's definitely something that requires a lot of grit, kind of like football, to get through it. I told you this. It was like with football, I had chased something since I was 8 years old, and it never fully came true. So one thing I understood about investing and day trading is it's not like a get rich overnight thing, right? It's something that's gonna take time. You got to have a passion for it. So I'm like, well, I already chased something that ain't, you know what I'm saying, it ain't come true from the time of 8 to 22 or 23 or 24, you know. So that kind of propelled me into doing this.
Sports prepared you. Jerrian always says every week that sports is a metaphor of life.
And not to cut you off though, but I do want you to talk a little bit about the attributes that you learned from sports, how you are applying it to your actual career now.
Yeah. Just the everyday, like the approach every day. So what I do now is more mental. Like, it's completely mental. It's all psychology, right? The game of football is physical, right, and mental, but you still have to prepare. Like, so I gotta prepare. I gotta be intentional every day. And I say this, I'm gonna give y'all one thing, right? So I've learned that your day should not start when you wake up in the morning, right? Your day should start when you lay your head on that pillow at night, or just before you lay your head on that pillow. What that means is your day is already outlined. So when you wake up, like, you're intentional about accomplishing whatever you put on that paper, whatever you wrote down that day. Like, I'm saying that because you guys are businessmen. Like, you play sports, but really you're a businessman, literally. I mean that. So, you know.
No, that's huge, man. And like I said, and I'm glad you brought this point up too. Like, we definitely not saying that make a plan B.
No,
right?
No, we don't believe in plan Bs around here.
We don't believe in, but we saying we all in, and we taking the right precautions to get the most out of this experience. Because again, these attributes that you build from being an athlete, they're gonna trickle over to whatever you decide to do when it is time to redefine yourself. Because we all go through that, right? We all go through that point in life where we got to redefine ourselves and we got to take a different route. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. A lot of times when people have to redefine themselves, they go into a dark place and it becomes so hard for them to get out of it. You always gonna go through different things. You always gonna experience different things. But again, the grit, the toughness, the leadership ability that you learn, how to work with people you don't like, and all those different attributes that you experience from playing sports, it is basically life. And it's a small metaphor of life. But you take these experiences, you build on these experiences. You don't let them define you. You understand why you're going through them, and you let it make you a better man. So it was important that I had you guys again. I got nothing but love for you guys. I'm proud of you guys, and I wanted y'all to talk to somebody like Chris, somebody who can be a resource for you.
Man, thanks Chris, thanks Tramell, thanks Jaime, and you guys are awesome. We look forward to you guys having a great season at Mandarin and all that kind of good stuff. Man, thanks again, Chris. Man, you guys have been listening to the Amateur's Edge on 1010XL 92.5 FM. We'll see you next week.